Yo, what's up guys? So today, instead of uploading a regular video game metal cover, I thought we would do something super cool and special, and this is definitely something that you guys have been requesting forever. So super excited to show you guys my whole studio, and we're also going to check out my guitars that are up there too. So let's go upstairs into the dark tower of darkness. Let's go. So I figured we will start with my computer setup, and then after that we can move on to checking out some of my guitars. So let's start with all of this stuff. So my PC is a Windows PC. I also have a MacBook downstairs, so I kind of like to have the best of both worlds. But I find that I enjoy working with PC the most just because it's really familiar to me. And that'll be kind of a common theme too with all the programs that I use. I like to have like familiar programs and software so I can feel the most comfortable when I'm making all my music. So for digital audio workstation, aka the program that you use to do your recording, I use Pro Tools, which I'm sure many of you guys will be familiar with. Pro Tools is, I believe, the longest existing digital audio workstation, if not the first one ever made. I'm not exactly sure, but it's been around for a really long time, and Pro Tools is what I learned on in college when I was studying audio production. So it's a great program. The newest versions of Pro Tools have gotten really good. It kind of had like a weird period where it wasn't like the most stable program, but recently it's been a really good program, so I'm enjoying using it. So let's talk about like software and plugins and all that stuff that we all know and love if we're audio recording guys. So for my drums, I like to use the Tune Track products. So as you can see here, we have Superior Drummer 2. There are 3 Superior Drummers, so I'm actually going to be upgrading to Superior Drummer 3 pretty soon. But I honestly just love the tones that I've managed to come up with on Superior Drummer 2. So it's hard for me to really want to switch because I always find myself improving the tones that I can get on Superior Drummer 2. So I've been really enjoying the Tune Track stuff. For my guitar sound, I use software plugins, and in a moment I'll show you how I get my guitar into the computer. But for the software for my guitar sound, I use the Positive Grid products. So this is Bias. I believe it's Bias Amp specifically, and this particular preset is called Modern Rhythm. So as you can imagine, this is what I use for my rhythm guitar sound. And then some quick shout outs for other plugins that I use. I'm a big fan of the FabFilter multi-band compressor plugin. I use this on my lead guitars, I use it on my bass guitar, I use it on everything that accumulates low end, because the multi-band compressor is really good at just containing low end and making it super tight. So I'm a big fan of the FabFilter products for that. And then lastly, this is my most recent acquisition, but this is the Joey Sturgis Joel Wanasek mix bus plugin. So it's a little tongue twister, but yeah, these plugins are great because they just contain, they compress things, they add a lot of cool like effects to the sound, and they just make it sound really good. And yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Okay, so let's move on to our hardware, so just all of the equipment that I use to record. So what I use to plug my guitar into my computer is this unit right here, which is called the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, or sorry, Focusrite Scarlett 6i6. So this unit is amazing. I just got this one recently. I used to use the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. However, when I started doing more stuff with my live streaming on Twitch, I found that having extra inputs and outputs helped me get a really good sound quality with audio routing. and all that stuff is super complicated, so if you want more information on that, just ask me on Discord. But if you guys are looking to get an audio recording interface and you're not planning on doing much streaming, you can easily do a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 or even a Scarlett Solo, which allows you to just plug your guitar straight into it, and then it connects to your computer via USB, and then you can record without needing any microphones or any speaker cabinets or any of the old traditional ways of recording guitars, which are very loud. So we don't want to do that at 5 in the morning. So, but even though I just got done talking about how I don't use amplifiers for recording, for my live streams, I've actually been using a slightly different setup where I am using a real amplifier. And this product right here is really cool. This is called the Hughes & Kettner Black Spirit 200. And if you guys have seen my live streams before, this is what you're hearing from my guitar sound. And I'm a big fan of it. It's kind of a cool best of both worlds situation in that it works almost kind of like an Axe-Fx or a Kemper, in that you can, send it straight to your computer directly, but it also has that kind of old school amplifier feeling because it has real knobs on it, and it has different sounds on there and different tones that you can get. So it's really cool. I like it for streaming. It helps it feel like a real live experience when I'm using an actual amplifier and stuff like that. And it sounds great too. I mean, you guys know that too. It's a great sounding amplifier. And so let's talk about my guitars then. I believe that's pretty much the last main thing. So as you can see, I have 8,000 guitars. And if you guys out there are guitar players, you know what it's like to really want a lot of guitars. So I've accumulated some really awesome guitars over the years, and I figured we'll go in order of when starting with my very first guitar, and then we'll go to my most recent guitar. So let's start with the guitar I got. This guitar I got when I was a kid. So I actually don't think you guys have even seen this guitar before. This is the very first guitar that I ever got. My parents bought it for me when I was a kid. And this particular one is a guitar by Fender called the Fender Cyclone. And this guitar is really cool. It's a model that I don't believe they're doing anymore, but as you guys can see, it's really similar to like a Fender Mustang in that it has like a shorter scale. It has a 24.75 scale length, and that gives it like a really cool tone. It's a little bit more like full sounding, and it also makes it really easy to play. So it was a really nice guitar to learn on. And I actually honestly still love the way this guitar sounds. Even though it's a Fender, it can easily hold up with all of my more metal style guitars. So yeah, I love this one. I'm always gonna cherish this as my first guitar. So let's move on to the next guitar that I got. I've had various guitars in between these two guitars I'm going to show you, but I've sold them, and guitar player stuff. You always exchange guitars around. But let's talk about this one. So this is, I would probably say, my most prized guitar. This is a 2008, I believe, ESP Standard M2. And you guys have seen this guitar all over my channel. I would say this is probably my favorite guitar just because it just sounds amazing and it plays amazing. It's like what you imagine a perfect guitar to be. It feels great and it sounds great. And I've been using this thing for years and years, and it has so many just like scars all over it, and it's totally just like it's seen the end of the world and back. So I love this guitar, and I just can't stop playing it. It's been there forever, and I'll continue playing it. Next guitar. So this one's a cool one. I know you guys like this one a lot. I get a lot of comments about this one. So this is an LTD TE406. So it's a different style body, similar to like a Fender Telecaster kind of. And this guitar is cool because this is like my brutal, heavy guitar. Something about the way it sounds, like acoustically, it just has like such a crazy heavy tone to it. So whenever I need to record something just absurdly heavy, like I usually reach for this guitar. It kind of just does that, and it just doesn't know how to not be heavy sounding. And as you guys can see, it looks amazing. And yeah, these pickups actually did not come with the guitar. These are the Fishman Fluence modern pickups, and I put these in after, and I think it makes it look cool. It kind of pops out with that chrome, so I'm proud of that choice right there. Next guitar is my most expensive guitar for sure. So this is a guitar that I treated myself with. I can't remember what specific milestone it was, but I think it was, I reached, it may have been like 50,000 subscribers or something like that. But I wanted to treat myself to an awesome guitar, so I reached out to ESP and I said I want to custom build a ESP USA model. So this is made in the USA, and it's all built by hand, and it has a beautiful color. I specified that I wanted this color on it. I believe it's called Deep Lagoon Burst, so it's like a really nice blue to black finish. And this guitar is amazing. I mean, it plays amazing, and it's just, you know, it's a very expensive and very beautiful, well-made guitar. So I like this guitar a lot. The only thing with it though is that I sometimes feel like I don't even want to play it because it's just so like valuable that it's like I almost just treat it as more of a treasure than a guitar that I am willing to go out there and abuse and, you know, give scars like my other one. But I love this guitar though. I like to use it for videos because it's such a pretty guitar. So this one is my first introduction to the Evertune technology, the Evertune bridge, and as you can see, I broke a string on it, so that's always fun. Also, it's a little dirty, sorry about that, but that just shows you that I absolutely love to play this guitar. And yeah, the Evertune stuff is cool. This one's different than my other guitars in that it's a neck-through guitar, so it's joined through the body, and it's one piece, so it makes it really comfortable to play like lead guitar on. So I find that this guitar is my favorite guitar for live streaming because it's just really comfortable, and I can do a 3-hour live stream and my hand will just be like super comfortable the entire time, which I think is pretty important to be comfortable, as comfortable as you can be when you're playing for such a long period of time. And then, is anybody still watching? No. So, this one, I just got back. I know you guys are leaving comments about this one. This is my EC 1000 guitar, and it's a single cut kind of vibe. And it's cool. It has a shorter scale length, very similar to my Fender that I was showing you guys earlier. And with the shorter scale length, it makes it really easy to play. Like the strings just feel so nice and like responsive. So I've been using this one for streams as well recently, and it might be a contender with for my favorite live streaming guitar with my neck-through one. So I like this guitar. It also weighs nothing, so it's really nice to just pick it up and just, you know, it's a great guitar to just reach over and grab and just riff around on, you know. So yeah, I love that guitar. Okay, almost done. So this one, I honestly was just at the ESP headquarters in Hollywood, and I picked this up, and I was pretty much just like, I need this guitar. Like, it was just one of those moments where like I just impulsively connected to this guitar, and I wanted it. So I got it from ESP. So why do I like it so much? It's really just a great sounding guitar. It just plays great and it sounds great, and it's very similar to this one. It's very similar, they look the same, they have very similar specifications to them, and I kind of wanted this to be like almost like a new version of this guitar, in that I can bring this out, and if this guitar ever got you know, ever exploded or something, it won't make me cry nearly as much as if this one were to be damaged or, you know, stolen or something. So it's a good spiritual successor to my ESP, which I love. So this one is awesome. Okay. So second to last, so this was my dad's guitar, and this is a wild guitar. I mean, this is a guitar from, I believe it's 1981 when this guitar was made. So it's a Charvel guitar, and it has absolutely seen hell and back. Like you can see how the color even has changed through the years. It used to be this color on the front, but now it's a much more faded color, and it's truly just an amazing classic guitar. So it's, you know, it has a lot of value to me because, you know, my dad gave it to me, and my dad's a guitar player as well, and it was also one of the very first guitars I ever held, you know, because when I was a kid, before I got my first guitar, I would strum around on this one a little bit. So it's really nice to have this guitar, and it, you know, it's a great kind of different guitar for me, for sure. Okay. And then lastly, it's an acoustic that isn't very special whatsoever, because I went to Guitar Center and I bought it for about $200, and it works. It's a functional guitar, and, you know, honestly, for 200 bucks, you could do a lot worse. And it's been cool to do acoustic stuff recently with this. So yeah, I like it. And that's pretty much all of my guitars. Ooh. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been really cool to be able to show you guys my stuff. I'm sure you guys might have a couple of questions, because I just showed you so much stuff and so much information about my process. So you guys can leave a comment if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you guys for your support as always. I will see you guys later.